Alright guys, I'm gonna start with like explaining for the test with question 1. And it says, hold on. Expression is, okay, well, use screen this time. -2, okay, let me just put it in the parentheses. -2ab cubed, or whatever, cubed times 4ab to the 5th power, and then times 6ab squared. Okay, so here, what you want to do is remember the exponent. Okay, I'll say that later, but for now, what you're gonna do is you just multiply the coefficients together. So -2 times 4 equals 6. Wait, no, I'm bugging. -2 times 4 equals -8, and then -8 times 6 equals -48. Now you have the coefficients, so you can just, forget about that. Now you have a times a times a. Here, okay, hold on, let me see this. Oh, here is a squared. All right, so you gotta remember the exponent rule. So basically, when they're just in parentheses, you just add them. And so I think for the fraction one, you guys should already notice that's is subtraction, and then the one where let's say this 2ab, this would be multiplication. However, since these are all in parentheses, it's addition. So what you're gonna do is, that's a, that's 2, this is understood, so that's 3, and that's also understood, so wait, no. Okay, so the a here is 3. So here, right, these two equals 3, plus 3, so a to the 6th power. And now you have b. There's b to the 3rd, b to the 5th, and b squared. So 3 plus 5 plus 2, that's 10. This should be your answer. All right, so the next question is what I was actually talking about. So it says 6x cubed y to the 6th power squared. So remember, the exponent, this is squared, right? So that'd be 36. And then in the exponent law rule, you just multiply the exponent with what's squaring it, or whatever it's being to the power of. So 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 times 2 is 12. This should be your answer. Oh wait, actually, yeah, I'm right. I was looking at a different question. All right, so the next question is 27x to the 18th power, and then y to the 5th over 9x to the 6th power y. Here, remember, that's just that's division, because those are whole numbers, they're not exponents, so that would be 3. 27 divided by 3 is 27 divided by 9 is 3. And then here you do 18 minus 6, that's 12. And then you do 5 minus 1. Since it's understood, that would be y to the 4th. This should be your answer. Okay, so the next question is for all positive values of, okay, so basically you need to convert this into a radical. So normally, right, this would just be x, then, no. Wait, let me see. Yeah, because 3/4, right? So think about it like this. Let's say you have this, and then x, a, b, whatever, and then here's 2, right? B is 2. I remember one of them, it would be b to 2/3 power, and technically you would just keep the b squared in there. So I mean, you don't have to necessarily think of it like that, but if it helps, it helps. So the next question is why a 125 to the 2/3 power. So basically, since you have this, it would be 125 cubed squared. So here you would do so 125 cubed is just 5. So 5 squared equals 25. Alright guys, so the next question is 16c to the 5th power d to the 8th. Basically what you're going to do for the 16 is what number multiplies itself 4 times. So like this number to the 4th power is 16, right? So basically what you can do is like break it down. Like I'll give you an example. 4 times 4 equals 16, right? Well, if you try doing that 4 times, obviously it's going to be bigger than 16. But if you try breaking it down, 2 times 2, right? That's 4. And then 2 times 2, that's also 4. Or you could just do 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. This is 4. And then with these 3, it becomes 8. And then multiply 8 by 2 and you get 16. So then that means 2. And then look. Here, you might not know what to do. But realistically speaking, all you got to do is just see c to the 5th power. You just take 1 out and put it there. That way this becomes c to the 4th power, right? And so this this 4, how many times does 4 go into 4? Once, right? So that's understood. And then how many times does 4 go into 8? Twice. That's for d, by the way. So this, and then you would finish it off with this. Alright, so the next question is add radical 27 plus 2 radical 12. Here, all you're going to do is just make sure that these radicands are the same number. You can obviously do that by breaking it down. So think about it like this. Radical 9 times radical 3 be 27, right? Radical 27. That means that you can keep it like the radical 3 and then you simplify this further to 3. You get 3 radical 3. Here, 2 radical 12. Well, if you want to get, since we already have 3 here, you want to try to match that here. So I'll give you an example. So radical 4 times radical 3. Because think about it, right? You only, when you're doing this, really just do what 2 numbers multiply each other to get 12, right? And then whatever those 2 numbers you get, you just put a radical on them, right? So now you have 2 radical 3, but you're not done yet because there was a 2 here originally. So what you're going to do is multiply this with this and 4 radical 3. Then you add these together and you should get 7 radical 3. Alright, so for the next question, it's 5 over radical 10. So the rule here is just you multiply by radical 10 on the bottom and on the top. That way you get it equal or whatever. Now here you have 5 radical 10 and here you have radical 100 because 10 times 10 equals 100. So radical 100 is just 10. So your answer should be 5. Well, you're not done here. I mean, so what then after this, right? 5 radical 10. That 5 radical 10 over 10, right? So notice how technically the 5 is just multiplying the radical 10, right? But there's a 10 at the bottom. You can divide these two as long as this is not inside of here, or it's not on top of here, right? So you can divide this. So 5 over 10 equals a half. You can obviously write 1 over 10 over 2, but you don't need the 1. It's understood. So in reality, this should be your answer. Okay, so the next question is 4 over 3 minus radical 2. Here, what Mr. Anderson said, basically, you would just do this, but like, you would put the inverse on the top. So you would multiply this as 3 plus radical 2. So the better way to explain it would be like, in order to simplify this, you need to multiply the reciprocal, which is the opposite, on top, and that would be 3 plus radical 2. But you would also do it on the bottom. Now the top should have 12 plus 4 radical 2. You can leave it like that. Now you have to do the bottom. So 3 times 3 is 9, and then minus radical 2 times 3 is minus 3 radical 2. Then you have minus radical 2. 3 plus, my bad. I'm looking. It's 3 times radical 2, so that's 3 radical 2. And then you have minus radical 2 times 3. That's minus 3 radical 2. And then you have minus radical 2 times positive radical 2. That would turn into minus radical 4. Minus because positive times a minus is a minus, and then 2 times 2, right? These two cancel each other out, so you would have 9 minus radical 4, and radical 4 equals 2, so 9 minus 2 equals 7. That would be this. And realistically speaking, this should be your final answer since you can't divide further, so we just keep it like that. Okay, so the next problem is this. Negative 7b cubed plus 3b squared minus 9b minus 4b cubed plus 3b squared plus b. Usually when stuff like this is on the board or I'm going to write something down, I like to immediately distribute because I save a tiny bit of time instead of rewriting it the exact same equation again. So basically you would just bring this down, right? And then here you change this to a plus, because when you distribute this negative, this will automatically be a plus, right? Because negative here, right, when you distribute, you're just adding at that point. So now you distribute it, and so negative times 4b cubed is negative 4b cubed, and negative times 3b squared is negative 3b squared, and then you have negative 1 times, times b, that's negative b. Now you just combine like terms, and then you should get negative 11b cubed. And then 3b squared minus 3b squared, they cancel each other out. So then you're left with minus 9b and minus b. So you should end up with minus 10b. Okay, so the next question is 4x plus 3 times 2x minus 1. This is super easy, bro, and I do not recommend to do the grid method. Some questions are like this on the SAT. You guys should also be studying the SAT by now, whether it's alone or with a program, whatever. So here, never do the box method. Like I did in the previous questions, here's what you do. You do in and out. So 4x times 2x, right? That's 8x squared. And then you also have to do 4x times negative 1. That's negative 4x. Now then you do 3 times 2x, which is 6x. Then you do 3 times negative 1, which is minus 3. You combine like terms, and you should get, let me just fix that too. You should get positive, oh, I'm forgetting. You should get positive 2, I keep writing B, 2x minus 3. Okay, so the last question is x minus 2 and then times 2x squared plus 5x minus 4. Basically, you're doing the same thing. You're just putting these, right? So it's x times 2x squared. That's 2x cubed. And then you do that. You should get 5x squared. And then you have x times negative 4. That's minus 4x. Now you distribute the 2. You have negative 2 times 2 squared. That's negative 4x squared. What I like to do is put it at the bottom. That way I can just automatically distribute, or well, that way I can kind of organize my stuff. So now you should get negative 2 times 5x. That's negative 10x. And then you do negative 2 times negative 4, which is positive 8. Now you should be left with, after adding all like terms, you should get 2x cubed plus x squared minus 14x plus 8. And that's the test. I got 100 on it, and yeah, it was pretty easy. Okay, so for the next question, it's 3 times x plus 2 minus 2 times x plus 1. I usually say times, so just keep in mind I'm probably saying parentheses. So it looks like that. You would just do PEMDAS. Just write it down. Just to show you guys. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. In that order. So first you would do here 3x plus 6. So here and then there. Then you have plus minus 2x. Then minus 2 equals 8. Then you combine like terms. That would be, let me see. That should be x, and then 6 minus 2 is positive 4 equals 8. You subtract 4 on each side to isolate x, and your answer should be 4. Okay, so the next question is 2 plus 3, parentheses, 2a plus 1 equals 3 times a plus 2. Okay, so first, obviously, you're going to do PEMDAS, which is parentheses, or then we just add this first. So that'd be 6. Okay, my bad. 6a plus 3 plus 2, and then you have 3a plus 6. Now you add like terms on this side, so you should get 6a plus 5 equals 3a plus 6. What I would do is just subtract here, and then that way this is just 3a equals 1. Divide by 3, a should be 1/3. Okay, so the next question is negative 5 times x plus 2 plus 4x minus 5 equals negative 24. So basically, obviously you distribute first, so negative 5x minus 10 plus 4x minus 5. You just add like terms together, and then you should have negative x minus 15 equals negative 24. We would add 15 on both sides. That would leave this negative x equals negative 9. You divide by negative 1, and then x should equal to 9. Okay, so for this question, it says 1/7. Oh, we already did that. Okay, so you would just put the answer that you put for the one that we did. It should be on your paper. Next question is solve for x. So 2x plus 5 over 8 plus 2x plus 1 over 24 equals 7. Here, obviously, what I would do is I'd factor this out, and then actually no, you don't need to factor this out. What I would do is try to get these two the same. So that would be so how many times does 24? Well, 8 go into 24. That would be 3 times. All right, so that'd be 3 times this. Now you have the same you should have the same. Then now you have 6x plus 15 over 24. Now you add like terms. And then you should have 6x plus 2x, which equals 8x. Then 15 plus 1 equals 16. Equals 7. What you can do is multiply by 24 to cancel that out. Now you have 8x plus 16 equals 168. You subtract 16. you should get 8x equals 152. Divide by 8, and your answer should be 19. Okay, so then the next question is x squared minus 13x plus 40 over 5x squared minus 40x. Here, what I would do is just factor it out first. So here would be AC method. It's the answer should be for here. The top would be x minus 8 and x plus 5. Wait, no, x minus 5, my bad. And then here at the bottom, it's just 5x, x minus 8. Then you would just cancel out. And your answer should be x minus 5 divided by 5x. Okay, so for this question, it's x squared minus 64 over x squared minus x minus 72 times 4x minus 36 divided by x squared plus 8x. You're going to factor it out first. This is difference of two squares. So that's x plus 8 and x minus 8. Here you have x minus 9 times x plus 8. And then here you have 4 times x minus 9. Then here you would have x times x plus 8. Now, this cancels out with this. This cancels out with this. That leaves us with 4x minus 8 over x times x plus 8. Okay, so the next question is x plus 5 divided by x squared plus 4x minus 5 divided by 9x plus 9 over x squared minus 1. So you see this division symbol. If you want to, what you want to do is turn it into a multiplication. So then you would just do the inverse or the reciprocal. So that means the 9x plus 9 goes at the bottom, and the x squared minus 1 goes at the top. And then here, you just factor it out. X squared plus 4x minus 5. That'd be x plus 5 and x minus 1. Here, you also got to factor it out. So let me just... I'll just be doing here. This would be x plus 1 times x minus 1. Let's just fix that. And then you have, that would be 9 times x plus 9. Here you have x plus 5, or x plus 5, and then, well, I mean, you can't really do anything else. I think it should turn into 9 times x plus 9 over x minus 1 times x plus 1 times x minus 1. Right? Let me see. Okay, so the last question is x plus 5 over x squared plus 4x plus, oh wait, no, not plus, my bad, minus 5. Divided by 9x plus 9 over x squared minus 1. Here, what you want to do is turn it into multiplication. So basically, that means the numerator becomes the denominator and the denominator becomes a numerator. Basically, what that looks like is like these numbers go down while these ones go up here. So that'd be x squared minus 1, 9x plus 9. Here you have x plus 5 over x squared plus 4x minus 5. Now you're going to factor. Here's x plus 5. Here you have x plus 5 times x minus 1. Because, well, 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. And then you add those. It should equal to 4. And then here you should get, well, x plus 1 times, parentheses, x minus 1 to get x squared minus 1. Since it's difference of two squares. And then here you have 9x plus 9. Well, obviously it'd be 9, so it'd be x plus 9. And now you would cancel out. Well, wait. I just realized what I did wrong. Okay. Here. I got it right on my paper, though. So here you would have 9x times x plus 1. Now you cancel out. And you would have x minus 1, x minus 1, and then here you have x plus 1 and x plus 1. That leaves you with over 9. That's incomplete, but think about it like this, right? Whenever there's an expression or anything in general is multiplied by 1, right? Because if you multiply it by 1, it stays the same. So that would mean there would be a 1 the whole time. Therefore, your answer should be 1 over 9.